Good morning, Catherine Cookatone and Hobbs, Tappy, and Finnegan. And this is yoga for my daughters. This is my first one, so I'm gonna sit back and talk to you a little bit about it. But this one is for Chloe, my oldest daughter, and it's going to be more of a vinyasa flow. She's going to have to be working for many hours, and this will give her a chance to just flow through her body. If you're looking for a slower flow or a more restorative practice, I'll be adding those on, and they'll be specifically for certain young women in my life, and I'll tell you about them as we go. But let me go back there and start. We'll also eventually get better at the tech and making sure you can hear me and if I need a microphone. So I'll figure all that out too, but this is just for our first go. Hi, Chloe. Okay. So I like to start the class by reading, and since this is yoga for my daughters, I thought I would read from the book How to Love by Thich Nhat Hanh. And this first excerpt is Heart like a river. If you put a handful of salt into a cup of water, the water becomes undrinkable. But if you pour the salt into a river, people can continue to draw the water to cook, wash, and drink. The river is immense, and it has the capacity to receive, embrace, and transform. When our hearts are small, our understanding and compassion are limited, and we suffer. We can't accept or tolerate others and their shortcomings, and we demand that they change. But when our hearts expand, these same things don't make us suffer anymore. We have a lot of understanding and compassion and can embrace others. We accept others as they are, and then they have the chance to transform. So the big question is, how do we help our hearts grow? And I'm thinking our yoga practice can help with that. So let's get started. I like to start yoga classes with abdominal work. It's actually ventral vagal activating and increases your connection to self and others. It also is so important for your spine, and your spine is so important for your whole life. So we'll start out with some abdominal work, lying on your back. If you have a block, place the block between your thighs. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Do only as much of this as feels right for your body. The most important relationship in the room is between you and your body, you and your soul. So anything I say that gets in the way of those relationships, that relationship, disregard. And anything that supports that relationship, please take it to heart. So my legs are up, toes toward shins, elbows wide, and I'm working on opening and broadening the heart in this practice, aligned with our reading. Lifting the chest and then exhaling on the up. I'm looking up at the ceiling. Here we go. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Three, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is 50. So legs down, block to the side, hands on your belly, big breath in, and big breath out. Good, big breath in, and big breath out. For this practice, I'm going to do a lot of what I typically do in my home practice routine. And again, this is a more rigorous flow, so just take what works for you. Taking your right leg down to a hover, your left leg up, your left hand behind your head. Reach your right arm to the outside of your left leg. You want to think right rib to left hip, lifting your chest up and over. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then squeeze in. And if you're lucky, you have a cat-like hops helping you. And then switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Squeeze in. Third set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Squeeze in. Fourth set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Squeeze in. Fifth set. We're going to do 10 sets. So do as many as feels right for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Squeeze. And then number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Squeeze. Let each squeeze be a great rest. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One of the best ways to start to develop an open heart is to have an open heart for your own work, for your own practice, right? So letting it be exactly as it is and then nurturing it forward at the same time. Both can be true. 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The idea is that we accept ourselves and others exactly as they are, and we can see what's possible if we were to move forward and grow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Squeeze in, and this is your last set. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah, very good. Feet on the ground, hands on your belly, big breath in, big breath out. Big breath in, and big breath out. Ah. Yeah, and let yourself sigh if you'd like to just make some noise. Have yourself in a nice private room where it's okay, however your practice goes. Giving yourself permission is another way to expand and open the heart. So I'm just rocking back and forth, massaging my back. So I'm going to make my way to downward facing dog. I might cross my ankles, press my hands into the mat and step back, or swing your legs to the side. Walking out my dog, sinking back into heels. And just like you'll see with my poses, they won't be absolutely perfect all the time. But the work is in the practice, right? The work is in the practice and not in the perfectness. It is just being with our body, being with and connecting with. Lift your right leg high, bend and stack. Chest towards your thigh, thumbs and first fingers digging in, and really open through the right side of the body. Letting your head hang, maybe moving your foot. Big full expression, then dig into your left foot, knee to nose, and then stepping your right foot forward, hips low, heart high. So the first, sinking in to your hips, triceps back. Ooh. Yeah. And I'm imagining, Chloe, I'm imagining that you have worked your rotation all day, and I don't know, this might feel good, this might feel like a lot. This might be a good time too to drop the back knee and just do a mini runner stretch to really stretch through the hips and open that up a bit before we get started. If you have it on your feet all day. If you're just waking up, it's not a bad time either. Pressing your hands down and moving yourself back into downward facing dog for the other side. Take a moment to walk out. This notion that how we open ourselves up, soften ourselves up from the body up instead of making it all happen through our thoughts, right? That the body, working with the body can help soften our hearts, soften our thoughts. So here you are, lifting the left leg high, bending, opening, stacking, chest toward your thighs. Finding your breath, especially when things are challenging or hard. Your breath is your partner. Your breath is the soothing signal to the body. Big opening, and then dig into your right foot, knee to nose, and step your foot forward. And if, like mine, it doesn't go where you want it, you just scooch it up and then into a long lunge. And let your body move gently with your breath. Seeing if you can be with the sensations are here, not judging, just being with. That's part of having a big open heart, right? Letting judgment takes up so much space. Maybe you drop the knee and take just a quick stretch here through the hip, dropping the hips back, softening the shoulders. Using your breath to really soothe and comfort the body as you work. And then back to downward facing dog. Big breath in. And big letting go. Good, big breath in. And exhale. Slowly walk your feet forward. And then come to a forward fold. I'm bending my knees a lot. Opposite hand, opposite elbow. And then slowly working towards straight or maybe a little rock, side to side. And because you took those runner stretches, this might be not as alarming for your hips. And then release your hands. Press your feet into the floor. So we're gonna push, 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 push as you come up. And that push right here at the hips is gonna turn into a pull into the belly. So push, pull, and that pull is gonna turn into an expansion or a reach as we get up here. So a big reach. And then take this and stretch each side. So I'm pushing through the foot and reaching here. You want to engage in the stretching in a very intentional way. Noticing, so we're noticing, and that's really powerful. This noticing the body. The very foundation of love is presence. So if you're looking to love your body, as you should, the first step is just being with the body as it is. And the stretching really helps with healing. It helps with inflammation. And so right through the hips, right through the side body, pressing the feet and reaching. Good, and then both hands here, and then coming to center. So now we'll move through a few, I like to do 6 Vinyasa flows with adding some things in. So you can either go a little slower, you can go faster, you can add whatever you want, you can take away whatever you want. Just make these 6 sun salutations work for you. I'll be cueing the breath and the kind of extra stuff that we'll be adding into the last 2, and take what you need. So here we go, standing at the front of the mat, breathing in for the first sun salutation. We'll do 4 sun A's and then our 6 sun B's Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Plant your hands, high plank. So for this first sun A, we're gonna drop into, unless there's a cat in the way, we're gonna drop into, right into our mats. So the tops of the feet hit, then I have my knees dropping, and then I'm melting the thighs all the way down to my chest. And then you can gently move any cats you have out of the way. Tenting the fingers, drawing the armpits, the shoulder blades in, lift your chest, breathe in, and then lower back down. Feet, knees, thighs, pelvis, chest, and then lower back down. And one more, just like that. So really energy from the feet through the crown of the head, armpits in, shoulder blades down your back, breathe in, and then lower down. Press up and back into downward facing dog. Big breath in, big letting go. Bend your knees, look up, step or float forward. Halfway lift, fold, press and rise. Big breath in. And then exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, high plank. Now into your classic sun A. Low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Big breath in, letting go. Bend your knees, look up, step or float forward. Halfway lift, fold, press and rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, and then high plank, low plank, upward facing, downward facing. Big breath in, letting go. Bend your knees, look up, step or float forward. Halfway lift, fold. Let's do one more. I think I have cat hair on my face. Big breath in, fold forward, halfway lift. High plank, low plank, upward facing, downward facing. Breathing in and breathing out. Bend your knees, look up, step or float forward. Halfway lift, fold, and then chair pose. So let's take our first chair pose. Sinking into the hips. And then belly in, chest up, look up, and breathe. Your breath is at your heart chakra. So when you breathe, the heart chakra, love to love, right? You're activating that open-heartedness, even when we're in a pose that might be challenging. Big breath in. I can have an open heart and be challenged at the same time. And then fold forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, high plank, low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior one. So we're just stepping the right foot forward, pressing down the back heel. My foot is at a 45-degree angle in the back. Thigh in the back, rotating behind me. Hips square. And then sinking in, belly in, chest up, chin neutral, extending through the crown of the head. And I would say, especially now, perhaps in these difficult times that I believe that we are in, being able to really take a warrior stand with a big, beautiful open heart is really important. So Chloe, I picture you doing your work, doing your rounds, working with your patients with this warrior open heart. Open up, 2. Yeah. Shoulder blades together. Good. Hobbs is here, and Hobbs sees we have a family of pigeons that live outside on our porch, and Hobbs, I think, would like those pigeons to play, maybe. Reverse, and then take a big stretch. Breathing in, and then take this first side all the way down, high to low, up and down. Left foot forward, warrior one. So same thing, back heel pressing down. Your warrior one has a big connection to the earth, so letting that happen. Perhaps pressing your feet down in, this down energy, and then keep that and think soles of the feet up, through the heart, through the crown of the head, this up energy too. Shoulder blades down, pelvic floor, navel, chest up. Yeah. And just feeling that warrior one, that stance of powerfulness and open-heartedness. Warrior two, you get a really big sense of open-heartedness across the chest. And just noticing that, right? Can I expand? And if we've had a lot of hurt, if we've been betrayed, all of the kind of psychological wounds that can happen, it can feel like a lot to open through the chest. Turn your palm, reverse. So having compassion for how challenging it might feel to open in this way. And then high, low, up, and down. Good, that's our first one. Big breath in, big breath out. Bend your knees, look up, step or float forward. Halfway lift, fold, chair pose. Big breath in, fold forward, halfway lift, and then high plank, low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior one. Breathe in and rise. Exhale two. Inhale, peaceful. And then exhale all the way down. High, low, up, and down. Left foot forward, warrior one. Rise up, breathe in. Open up two. Reverse, and all the way down. High, low, up, and down. Big breath in. Big breath out. Bend your knees, look up, step or float forward. Half lift, fold. Good, heading into our third. Big breath in. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Exhaling from high to low. Inhale up. Exhale down. Right foot forward, warrior one. Breathing in. Exhale two. Breathe in. And exhale all the way down. High to low, up, and down. Left foot forward, warrior one. Breathing in, exhale two, inhale, and exhaling all the way down. High, low, inhale up, exhale down. Big breath in, big breath out. Bend your knees, look up, step or float forward, halfway lift, fold. Good. Utkatasana, big breath in, fold forward, halfway lift, high plank, low plank, up dog, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior one, open two, reverse, and take it all the way down. High to low, up and down. Left foot forward, warrior one. Open two. Good, reverse. And then all the way down. High to low, up and down. Ah. Big breath in. Big letting go. Bend your knees, look up, step or float forward. Halfway lift, fold, chair pose. So here, I like to take chair pose here at this juncture and work on the mid and upper back. And for a moment you can stand up just so you can get a sense of this without the extra challenge of the chair pose. So these sun salutations, right, there's a lot of demand on the chest and the shoulders of the mid and upper back here. And we want to keep the mid and upper back strong and active during these poses, because if we rely on these muscles, they do fatigue, and then these tiny little supporting muscles here can actually get injured. So we want to keep the mid and upper back muscles engaged and activated. When we're sitting on the computer, when we're working with patients, we tend to be, right, in this unfortunate posture. So we want to work, right, chin in, reach to the crown of the head on our posture. And I write books. This is my work too. So we're rolling the shoulders. We're just gonna really squeeze the shoulder blades together when they're back here, letting the arms go with. Ah, that actually feels really nice. You might feel or experience a lot of tension in here. So really work that out. Changing directions. So I'm drawing forward, squeezing back, drawing forward. All right, now I have the thing softened. I'm gonna do this standing and then into chair pose, goal post arms, and I'm rounding navel to spine and dropping my head. So almost like I'm holding a ball. Then I'm gonna press from the earth, energy up to the pelvic floor, opening, this is the big open-heartedness, and drawing my shoulder blades together, chin neutral and reaching through the crown of my head, really active. And then from the floor, exhale, navel to spine. Good, inhale, open. So you can continue to do that from standing, or we do it from our chair pose. So going back into chair pose, here we are, we're gonna open and close. One way to have an open heart is we don't have it open 24/7. Sometimes we collect to rest and restore, so that when we open, it's truly open. So here we go, we're gonna practice opening and closing. Big breath in, this is the openness, and then exhale. Inhale, open, and exhale. Inhale, open, and exhale. Open, and exhale. Open, okay, and exhale. Let's do one more, open. All right, and then getting yourself prepared to flow. Exhale. This time open and reach, breathe in, and then fold forward. Halfway lift, and then high plank, low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior one. So for this one, and this is something I'm working on, so I'm not in any way going to act like this is anything close to perfect. But I want to model that, you know, yoga should be accessible for all of us, no matter what your age or ability level. This is a more rigorous class, but it's about the trying. So at this point, we're going to do twisting, half moon and half moon. So let's just see what happens. Bring your hands to your heart, and then coming up to warrior three. And that can be anything from keeping my toe here to all the way up. Good, I have my block. I'm gonna step back so I'm more in my mat. I have my block that I will place right under my heart. This is one way to really square off your warrior three. And then I'm going to work on the twisting half moon. So I'm just going to place my hand at my sacrum to begin to stack my lunge. You can extend your arm. This back leg tends to want to go down. We want to see if we can lift it up. And then twist. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing my block into my right hand and then slowly working my way to a half moon. And then in my home practice, I like to see if I can get my eyes toward the wall and maybe toward the ceiling. See for you. Activate the glutes, toes work to point up. 3, 2, and 1. Warrior two. Soft landing. Yay. Then scoop and reverse and take it all the way to the mat. High to low, up and down. Left foot forward, warrior one. I'm just gonna have my block ready here for this one. So the other side. So I'm watching my self-talk, right? So if I'm gonna have an open heart, it has to be for my own experience as well. So collecting my breath. So you might be also finding some Ujjayi breath, and that's this HA. But we find it, that sound with the mouth closed, breathing through the nose. And that can really awaken the heart center as we try something difficult. Here we go. Warrior three. I'm going to square off with the block and then just see about stacking my lungs a bit while I reach through the right leg. I'm keeping my gaze on the floor. You can take your gaze to the side or all the way up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Squaring off and then opening up. So this is a big from closed to open. A big change. Stacking the hips, opening up, and then maybe my gaze can go up to the ceiling. Breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm gonna bring my gaze back down and then a soft landing. Warrior two. Oh, softer on this side. There we go. And then reverse and all the way down. High to low, up and down. Big breath in, big breath out. You can do it with Ujjayi breathing. Big breath in and big breath out. Bend your knees, look up, step or float forward. Halfway lift, fold, Utkatasana, chair pose. So now this chair pose is just about activating the leg muscles. I'm going to draw my shoulders up onto my back, counterbalance, and then breathe here. So I'm just noticing, you're going to notice, and at any point you can come out, right? You're just noticing the work that's being done. These are big gross motor muscles. And these muscles are active when we're in fight or flight. And know that they can be active and you don't have to move into fight or flight. Your heart can start beating. We're gonna get used to being with our heart, being activated, and not having to kind of think we're in danger. That our hearts are beautiful like horses, right? And they can't be just held in the stable all the time. They have to be like let out to run free. Your heart is so beautiful when it beats hard, right? And nothing bad is happening, right? And the minute that it doesn't feel okay, you just ease out and then come back in, right? This is this beautiful choice-filled expression of the heart. May my heart beat like a running, joyful horse. Yeah. Sometimes we hold it together all day at work, right? And maybe it's nice in our yoga practice that our heart can run free. We can fill our bodies with the passion of the heart and not have to hold it together so much. I'm just rocking back and forth a little. You might like that. My genetics profile said I'm very likely to want to dance at the highest level. I have a high genetic loading for dance. It doesn't mean I'm good, but I do like to move. Yeah. I shouldn't say that. It's critical, right? I think a joyful movement is a beautiful movement. Good, and then coming out. So I'm bringing our feet together, your feet together. Breathe in, and then fold forward. Halfway lift, and then high plank. Low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior one. I'm gonna move a little, so I'm gonna use my left foot. So you're on your warrior one. Good. Finn, I wonder if you're safe there. We'll see. Let me see. So you're in your warrior one. You're gonna come up to standing. Here. This is why it's good I'm not right over Finn. Good. He's right here. Okay. So now take your knee or your toe. I'm pausing because I need to find a better relationship with the earth right here. Opposite hand as a counterbalance, and then open. So knee or toe, and then you look toward the hand that's outstretched. Breathing. Finding your balance over and over. Then coming back to center, switch your hands, toe or knee, and then maybe looking behind you for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo. Good, coming back to center. I'm going to take my arms out and then up and then foot up and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then take that back to airplane. Oh, yay. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you'll land softly back in warrior one. Feeling the work in your body. Opening up warrior two. Reverse peaceful. And then all the way to the earth. High, low, up, and down. And then left foot forward, warrior one. So the same on the other side. So here, this will be my right foot on this side for your left foot. So I'm in an abbreviated warrior one here, so Finnegan has space. Finding the earth with the front foot, pressing down, and then finding your balance. Take time. This is another way to love too, is you take time and find the earth first, right? This way we love from a grounded, intentional place. Find the earth, find your breath. This is how we have the big open stream, the river of love in the heart. Counterbalancing. Good, and then maybe looking toward your outstretched arm. Opening across the chest. And if you're wobbly, embrace wobbliness so you can embrace it in others. Oh, I know this thing, wobbliness. I know this. I know that. Right? And then you can have a really good sense of what it must feel like for others when they're wobbly. And then we build more capacity for love by being with ourselves in these very moments. I'm going to switch my arms out. I'm looking back. 3, 2. Hands come to center. Woo, wobbliness in me. Hands out wide. And then up for 10 counts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Into airplane. Yep, embracing the wobbliness for 5 counts here, or 2 nice breaths. And then as you're ready, back to your warrior one. Big breath in, opening up warrior two, and then reverse, and then all the way down. Hey Finnegan, come here. High, low, up, and down. Okay. Big breath in, big breath out. Bend your knees, look up, step or float forward. Halfway lift, fold, and then just rise all the way up. So there you finish the sun salutation part. I like to do a little soft movement to just soothe the body. So great effort, great rest. Your effort will make your rest sweet, 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 and your rest will make your effort bountiful. So just taking a moment. Now this next section, we'll head into crescent lunges, and so this is like the kind of second challenging part of class, and then we'll go into balancing and then grounded, heart openers, stretching, all done. So just pacing yourself throughout the class. So here we'll go into three-legged dog and or flip dog. Here we go. Back into chair, big breath in. Exhale, fold, halfway lift, high plank, low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Good. Here, lift your right leg high, step your left hand in, and then if you want, you could just keep your hands separate, shoulder distance or more apart, and have your three-legged dog, or step the hand in, flip your dog, and then you're pressing in and up. And just working on the flexibility of the spine, opening the heart, just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here, this moves to side plank on the right side. You can drop the bottom leg, lift the top leg. I'm just gonna do classic for 5, 4, or 2 big breaths, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Press, stacking the feet. You can hear I'll model dropping the leg. 3, 2, and 1. High, low, up, and down. Crescent lunge. So I'm on the ball of the back foot. Here. And you just did a lot with your arms, so you can roll the shoulders. Just getting a sense. Yep, and then take your arms up. Good. Feeling the crescent lunge. We're going to take a twist. You can drop the back knee or not. Long spine, left elbow, right knee. Good. And breathe. 3 big breaths here. Pressing through the back foot, reaching through the crown of the head. 1 more. This inhale brings you to crescent lunge. The exhale to warrior 2. The inhale back. And then exhale to side angle. And you can take classic, extended, both arms up, and some people here travel to bird of paradise. So 3 big breaths here. And then pressing in, warrior 2. Let's reverse here, and then all the way down. Every sequence being exactly what's right for your body, with no pose more valuable or better than any other. Unless that pose helps you connect with your body, with your gratitude, your compassion, with your love, then that's the best pose. So finding the poses that bring you a sense of connection. Good. Lift your left leg high, bend and stack. You can stay here or step the right hand in and then press. And you can just work on this like flip right here. This is where I'm at, right? Like working to stretch and open the chest, you know, and maybe your body is like mine. My body spends a lot of time writing at the computer. So working to just give it permission to open. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Flipping it back over. Here, we'll work on some dolphins. So you can take cat and cow here. Exhaling. Or just inhaling and exhaling. Or moving into dolphin. And we'll take 10 movements from dolphin to dolphin plank. So here we are in dolphin, and I'm working on building up my shoulders. I have to, when I work in the barn, carry a lot of bedding and hay, and buckets of water. And so I always am working to keep my shoulders strong for the barn. Here we go, plank, and then back, and plank, and then back, and 3, and back, and 4. And I'm doing that same sense of like rolling kind of from the feet to the crown of the head, and then from the crown of the head, arms back to the feet. I don't know, I think this is 6. I don't know. And back, and 7, and back, and 8, and back, and 9, and back, and 10, and back. Yay. Drop the knees. If you're in cat and cow, dropping the knees, and then taking that back to child's pose. Walking the fingers long, tailbone behind you. And however it feels best for your body, whether it's just a stretch back or a sinking back. This feels nice for me to stretch the low back. Walking your fingers over to the right, drawing the left sit bone back. And then walking your fingers over to the left, drawing your right sit bones back. And then back to center, back to downward facing dog, and then to our left side crescent lunge. So here, rolling the shoulders, chin neutral, crown of the head up. We're trying to situate, right, the spine here back into our body. From this to get it back in. Up, sinking, you might drop the knee, long spine, and take the twist. And 5 counts are 2 nice breaths here. And then up, exhale to the open, inhale to the back, and then exhaling into your side angle. And then taking the side angle of your choice, or no side angle at all. You might take water drinking pose, or lie on your back pose. One of the most powerful things you can do in this life is to actively choose. So maybe this whole practice is a practice of you choosing what is exactly right for you. Good, and then back, and reverse, and then all the way down. High to low, up, and down. Big breath in, big breath out. Bend your knees, look up, step or float forward. Halfway lift, fold, chair pose. Sinking deep. Now I'm going to go into twists. So lots of ways to do it. We want our hips low, heart high. And maybe you take elbow to knee. Maybe you take hand to hips. I've been working on just here even. So getting my knees parallel. And then working hip square. And working to take my shoulders front to back. Good. 5 counts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and forward fold. Peace sign fingers on your toes, head heavy, sit bones high. And then as goes your breath, so goes your heart. As goes your heart, so go your thoughts. Deep, beautiful breath. Deep, beautiful, big, open heart. And big, beautiful, open-hearted thoughts. Breath, heart, mind. Yeah, all of your coping can't happen through thinking. It's too much work on the brain. And you get into over-intellectualizing, and a lot of this coping work like loving is hard. Beautiful, but hard. So it has to come from like the body. And then as you're ready, releasing your toes, heading back into our effort after our rest. So here we go, chair pose. And then picking the other side. So elbow to knee, hand, or full body twist. Breathing 5, 4, 3, 2, breathe in 1, and fold forward. This time shoveling the palms under the feet. Gorilla Asana. And again, rocking if you want. Soft head, letting everything go. The breath in so many ways is like a river for the heart. So when Thich Nhat Hanh talks about this big, beautiful river of a heart, right, that can carry the saltiness of life because it is just such a small proportion of the big, beautiful river of the heart. The breath, perhaps, right, is us creating that movement of the river. And the heart moves along that river of the breath. The breath really supports the heart in slowing and deepening. And then releasing here, and then heading into a squat. And this is a great water drinking pose. Oh, my drinks are over there. All right, now we're working toward kind of the balancing and the closing section of class. So you can stay here and squat, pose. If you're in your own living room, this is a great place to work on crow. You can put a block or a pillow where your head might go if things don't work out. And I actually learned how to do crow pose in the kitchen. Well, anytime I made pasta, I'd work on it. It takes 11 minutes for the pasta to boil, and I would just have that 11 minutes be crow time. So anytime's crow time. My hands are shoulder distance apart, knees on top of the triceps, and then I'm just finding air. Thumbs and first fingers pressing in, catching, like touching the inner edges of the feet, toes spreading, shoulder blades drawing into the back. Good, and breathing. And then a gentle step down, and I can roll all the way up to standing. Whoa, good, another side to side. You're doing great. All right, so let's begin our balance sequence. So here we go. We'll start with eagle. So grounding your left foot. I move my arms into goalpost arms so that I have a balance. Finding something that's not moving, so I have another anchor of my drishti. Right leg over, right arm under. And you can wrap as much or as little as you'd like. The main goal here is we want to cross the legs, cross the arms, so we're having that like hemispheric integration in our brain. So the crossing is the big deal. How much we cross is not as important. Yay. And then slowly moving this into airplane. And this is nice, this is our second airplane. Yeah. Big open airplane. And then moving this, I'm gonna grab my block. It's nothing like catching your block while you're flying. Here we go. Into half moon, and I might take my half moon into a bind. And this is something I've been working on. It's not as easy. And then maybe my hand to my heart. And then slowly back into forward fold. And then rising up. Good, other side. Here we go, giving myself half a chance by connecting to the earth. So give yourself half a chance. Before a meeting, before a difficult conversation with someone you care about, before a new situation, give yourself half a chance by finding the earth in your breath. Left leg over, left arm under. And remember, it's like the crossing over the midline that we care about, so that can look just like this. Yep, or like this. So it's the crossing the midline that matters. The breathing that matters. The presence that matters. Presence being the foundation of love. Now I'm unfurling into airplane. Up. And then I'm going to search for my block again. I am not doing a good job taking care of my future self, am I? So you can always be taking care of the future self by putting the block where you can find it. Yeah. So I'm going to make a commitment to my future self. Recommit. Maybe hand to the heart. 3, 2, and 1. I know I'm going to need my block for my triangle, so I'm going to put it right here for future self. And then roll up. Dancer pose. So dancer pose, like our other balancing poses, we want to give ourselves, we're not going to be on one foot for this pose, so we're going to really find that foot. Left foot, your left foot, counterbalance. I like to use the chin mudra. This is, to me, letting go and letting God, letting go and letting the universe, or the God of your understanding, catching the inside of the back ankle. And then anything here, and it could just be touch and work on getting the back ankle. So any step in this dancer pose is dancer pose. And then we're just working our way up. 4, I'm noticing I'm rolling on the outside of my foot, so I'm just going to draw into the big toe side on my balancing foot. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, yay. Good. Counting or not to count, that's a big question. So you can substitute, well actually counting should substitute breaths, but taking a few breaths in each pose is a good way to work this when you're practicing at home. Counting is nice too. It gives your body a sense of like the peak of the moment. Your body is very rhythmic, the rhythm of the heartbeat, the rhythm of the breath. You can work with those natural rhythms or you can count. Whichever one kind of helps you be more in the pose is the right one. Yeah, so let's see, we can take 4 breaths here. Yay. Ooh. And then a little side to side. Just releasing, so balancing. Sometimes we have trouble softening. I have trouble softening in the balance poses. I take them so seriously. So take them less seriously and let yourself do a little unwinding. All right. So now we'll do a few breaths. And then we'll end this section with our tree pose. So take your feet a little more than hip distance apart. We're going to take a big breath in, and then really letting it go. Ready? Two more. In, let go. And in, let go. Yay. The other thing that helps you have a big open heart is clearing out the stuff that doesn't serve you anymore. Don't carry around the rocks. Honor the rocks, set them down in your garden. You know, like, right? Offer them thankfulness and love, but don't carry them around in your heart. Not a lot of space in there. for rocks. There's all these people and animals to love. Are you ready? Here we go, tree pose. So pressing down through your left foot, finding the earth again, giving yourself half a chance. Yeah. Then I'm gonna take anywhere from the earth to the inner thigh, or however your tree looks. You can have your own tree. Yeah, there's lots of species. None more beautiful than any other. This Anjali Mudra, this lotus seed of possibility right in the center. May I have an open heart. May I learn to expand this big, beautiful open heart to the most challenging of situations, the ones especially where I want to close, right? May I be protected while I open my heart. Good, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. So now, grounding. Taking those moments to ground, find my breath before I move into something precarious, like a balance pose. Okay, letting the quietness help you bring together my lotus seed of possibility, my eyes set on something that's not moving, and then reaching and growing. And then we ask, right, the universe, the God of our understanding, help me be brave with this beautiful open heart. 3, 2, and 1. Side to side. Good. All right, let's bring it home. Take a big, beautiful breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. And then high plank. Low plank. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior 1. And I have my black here because I took care of my future self. Open up 2. Straighten, reach, and creating a triangle. So stacking the lungs, reaching through, letting go of anything needing to be perfect. I hope I'm a good example. I know I'm a good example of non-perfection. Yeah. The practice is way more important than perfection. Good. Coming up, I'm going to need this block over here later. I'm going to need it sooner than that. Coming up to stand, I'm going to put my weight, my front foot, step my back foot forward into pyramid pose. You can interlace your fingers here, wrap your shoulders back, open, and fold forward. And keep this bind, or I like to use the block right underneath my heart to ground my hands and really help me straighten through the low back, pelvic floor in, and stretch through the hips. Press into the right foot, right hip back. And then here you can stay or add the twist for twisting triangle. Some people might want to take a twisting half moon here. I am going to do twisting triangle. You can also take your gaze to the ceiling. I keep mine on the floor just for it's better for my neck, but you can choose. Good, and then bring this to the earth. High plank, low plank, up and down. We're going to add a little bit to this side. Warrior 1, open 2, straighten, reach, and take the triangle. So here too, the same thing is whatever feels right for your neck. And I can look up, I can look right straight ahead, or I can look down. And Anna Forrest is pretty really flexible around this. It's like, be careful, right? We're already doing so much with the pose. Do you need to add like, right, whatever is strenuous for the neck? Or could we work on our neck in a more stable time? So really choosing, right, when we're gonna work on each part of the body, be with each part of the body. On this side, we're gonna step up for a moment, parallel the feet, maybe even taking the toes out a bit, and move into goddess. Some people's goddess is like way open. Some people's goddess is like mine. So there's lots of goddesses. So we're headed into our goddess. And I like to say little prayers here. So may I work to open my heart, right? May I have this beautiful open heart. May that work, may that practice serve the same practice of heart opening in others. And then may all beings know the work of opening the heart and maybe even know open-heartedness. And then I take this lotus seed of possibility and press it right toward my heart. Good, and then slowly coming up, this too shall pass. Parallel the feet, open the hips, and then fold forward. I might try to take a headstand here. Let me show you some things you can do. So here, I can walk my fingers, releasing this heel over here, over to one side. And I can do that without my fingers on the floor. I can also twist here, twisting, arms, right? I can walk my hands backwards. I can simply rock back and forth, working my head toward the floor. Let's see, I haven't done this in a bit. I'm going to try to do a headstand. We can also do a headstand. Just see. Yep. I'm a little worried about Finnegan. So I will take this back down. Ah. Good, Finnegan, you survived. Ah. And then as you're ready, coming out of that posture, and we're going to move into, so our left foot supports us. We'll move into pyramid on this side. Shoulders onto our back, open, and then fold forward. I'm going to use the block here to square my shoulders, take the hips back. I can soften my head. One of my big challenges is holding on to the steering wheel of life a bit too tight, which means that I hold on in my body too much. And I'm not saying that without loving kindness. Like, I really kind of love that about myself, that I, right? But also, I don't need to do that all the time. Sometimes I could take a rest. Take a twist. Breathing. So we learn to kind of think of these things that we're working on in life, not as like, oh, I hate that about myself, but like, like kind of what a beautiful thing, stepping back. Let's roll it down all the way to the mat. So I know, Chloe, you like to take locust pose. So this is locust pose here. You can also take floor bow, you're catching your ankles in that posture. Here you can take camel, which I'm showing you. I'm going to go on my back and take bridge and wheel. So you're going to pick what is right for you. We'll do 3 heart openers. So you can do locust. You can also pause this whole thing and do 10, right? So you can add whatever's right for your body. I think I finally got the cat hair off my face. Okay, so 3 for counts of 10, or you can just count your breaths. You can do 5 breaths. So pick how you want to do it, and pause here if you want more time with these. All right, so ready? So locust, floor bow, camel, or bridge. I'm doing bridge, pressing my feet down, knees over my ankles. My hips are up. I'm shimmying my shoulders under. We have 10 counts here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rolling out and legs side to side. Great effort, great rest. Good second one. 3, 2, 1. Rolling up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rolling out. Side to side. Good. And then I'm also working on my wheel, so I'm going to do 10 counts in wheel. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Rise up. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whoa. Soles of the feet together. Knees wide. One hand on your belly. One hand on your heart. Maybe rocking your head from side to side. And then from here, taking your favorite right side hip opener. So that could be half pigeon, double pigeon on the right side. You can do frog the whole time. I'm going to do a runner's stretch. So hands long behind you, legs bent. Move my block right here. Then I'm taking my right ankle over my left knee and walking then my left heel to my left sit bone. Then slowly moving the heels of my hands toward my sit bones until I feel the right amount of stretch for my body. The sit bones press down, the chest lifts, and then breathe. Active right leg. Yeah, I'm breathing. And these are these big fight flight muscles, right? Those are our power muscles. So we can, in the hips, we can be holding like the vestiges of fight and flight. So it can feel vulnerable to ask our hips to soften, right? These are our protective muscles. So really do so with breath and softly, not forcing anything. You really can't force a body or a person out of protection mode. It has to be something that the body settles out of, like a slow, oh, I'm safe, right? So if you're forcing someone out of fight or flight or forcing muscles not to hold, that would, to me, send them into defense, right? So we have to breathe, we have to just be with, and letting our muscles know that it's safe enough to release. And the muscles will decide, right? They'll decide when it's time. So we just keep offering the conditions and breathing. Sometimes I say, like, you have permission to let go. You have permission to let go. And then for this side, we're going to walk the hands out first, then the leg, and so we're not stuck. And then the other side. So here we go. Heel in to where you're just feeling, you might notice just a little stretching of the hip, and then bringing the hands in to exactly the right amount for you. So I love this pose because you can ease out or in. It's very easy to dial it to exactly where you need it to be for your body. Yeah, and your sides will be different. One side of your body is stronger than the other, and the strong side is usually less flexible. The other side more flexible, less strong. And then maybe just here breathing and contemplating this open-heartedness, this big river of open-heartedness, adding the breath. And then slowly coming out. Good. Hips back, moving the tissue, and then walking the heart toward the toes. Your hands might reach your knees or your shins. I can never tell. I kind of have my toes here. And then some people fold right over like a piece of paper, but I do not. I remember doing this at swim team when I was little and just thinking like, how do they do that? Seeing the other kids. So we all have different hamstrings, different bodies, different size, lengths, arms, legs, bellies, right? So this pose is kind of the shape it is for your body, for my body. And that is really like, right, getting to that love of the self is like, what is right for my body? What helps my body thrive and flourish, right? And then slowly coming up and to your final inversion. So this could be a handstand, headstand, lots of different things. At this point in class, I'm a big fan of restorative poses, taking the block under my sacrum and just letting my feet float up, letting the work of the practice move through me. You want the hips higher than the heart. Letting the breath flow in. Maybe you think breathing in. I know I am breathing in. I'm breathing out. I know I am breathing out. I'm breathing in. I know I am breathing in. I'm breathing out. I know I am breathing out. And here, you can stay here as long as you'd like. Just press pause. I'm coming out. I like to take a pause here in supported bridge and really try to let my hips go. It's like a lot of holding here. If I'm worrying about a deadline or someone I love, just tension, right? So just pressing, feeling the feet and the floor, just letting my body soften in these muscles. And then removing the block and taking final twists. So squeezing in with the right leg and taking it over. I have a goalpost arm because I have a friend here, but your arm can be fully extended or goalpost. And you're looking over the right shoulder. Softening the jaw, softening the shoulders, softening or closing the eyes. And then to center, squeezing in, and then over to the other side. And then from here into your Shavasana. So legs open, heart open. I always notice here too, my pets want to be around whenever I practice yoga. And I think it's because your body is in such a good place, right? That it feels like a good place for them to be around. Yeah. All right. So just letting yourself settle. And if you'd like more rest, just press pause right here. And if you're ready to transition back to life, wiggle your fingertips and toes, bend your elbows and knees, and roll to your right side, the softest side for your heart. Metaphorically, really, I think. And then slowly pressing yourself up to a seated position. And then taking your hands to your heart. And here with this lotus seat of possibility, if there's anything from the practice that you want to take with you out there, when you need it out there, press it close to your heart. I will remember this out there. And then one Om together, breathing in. The light and this work towards open-heartedness in me sees the light and the work toward open-heartedness in you. Om Shanti 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 Om. Peace. Yay. So, thank you for practicing, Chloe. I love you so much. And oh, I look fantastic. And to everyone else, if this is your first time, I'll be adding meditations, I'll be adding slower flows, I'll be adding seated flows, and I'll be categorizing them so you can find what works for you. This was a Vinyasa flow active. And so again, if you did that and you're like, that wasn't my cup of tea, I'll be adding something. So until then, I will see you. And again, I love you, Chloe. And if you're there, Emily, hey, love you too. Right. Bye.